The Supreme Court is effectively upholding gay marriage. Now, it's not necessarily the same thing as upholding gay marriage. There is still a possibility in the future they take on a case which could overturn Obergefell v. Hodges and make gay marriage not legal in this country anymore. So the story goes like this. Kim Davis filed a lawsuit. It moved up, she appealed, and then finally she appealed to the Supreme Court, who has rejected her suit. They will not revisit the case. And I believe this says Supreme Court are cowards. They're cowards, man. And that's the reality of it. Thomas and Alito are based. They tend to be willing to answer any questions the public has to effectively help this country improve. Instead, we largely have cowardly Supreme Court justices in the majority who won't take on the important cases that need to be heard. And that is, the issue of same-sex marriage is an issue of Congress. The Supreme Court should not have the authority to legislate from the bench the way they do, and they do. This was the argument effectively for Roe v. Wade being overturned. That the Supreme Court being asked, should something be legal or allowed, that's a question for Congress. The Supreme Court is supposed to interpret existing laws. And what they've done is they've twisted every opportunity for their legislative agenda on the bench. And so, the message is clear. We need a Supreme Court that is ruthless and merciless and will enforce the rules they want regardless of whether or not they're allowed to happen. Now, you may be saying, and I know the Democrats are saying, he's a fascist. This is exactly what Democrats have always done. The Supreme Court enforces legislation from the bench without anyone in this country agreeing to it. And that was the reality. And the reality today, gay marriage is not an easy majority issue. Gen Z and conservatives have started to move away from support of gay marriage. Now, me personally, I don't care. I'm of the privacy of your own home kind of thing. Just keep the books out of the schools, and I understand the slippery slope arguments that are happening, so there's questions here. But many people in this country never agreed to this, never voted for it. The Supreme Court just went, we will make it so. ABC News has the report. Before we grab it, my friend, we got a great sponsor. It is pdsdebt.com/Timcast. Check it out. Debt from credit cards isn't an accident. It's a system built to keep Americans down. The banks profit, the creditors win, and families lose. Every call, every fee, every high-interest trap is another reminder the game is rigged. But there's another side of the story. PDS Debt has already helped hundreds of thousands fight back, cutting debt, ending the calls, and putting money back where it belongs, in Americans' pockets, not the banks. Whether you're struggling with credit cards, personal loans, or medical bills, PDS Debt has custom options to help you get out of debt. They go beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan designed just for you. There's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs, in your pocket. It's your money. It's your future. Don't let the system decide for you. You're 30 seconds away from being debt-free. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now at pds.com/Timcast. That is pdsdebt.com/Timcast. There we go. From ABC, the Supreme Court on Monday denied a bid from former Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis to appeal her $100,000 damages suit and get the justices to revisit the landmark 2015 decision on Obergefell v. Hodges. The court did not explain its decision. Davis gained international attention after she refused to issue a marriage license to a gay couple on religious grounds in open defiance of the High Court's ruling, and was subsequently jailed for 6 days. A jury later awarded the couple $100,000 for emotional damages, plus $260,000 for attorney fees. This is why I think AI took over, and I'll say it, and I'll just keep saying it. We're not in control. The American people are not in control. This is not something anyone voted for, and they jailed this woman. I mean, that's crazy. Fire her. It was a job. Now, I got to be honest. When I've talked about people in government who have violated their jobs, I've had conservatives say, no, they should be arrested for it. I don't. I think if you have a job and you don't do your job, you get fired. Kim Davis being jailed is insane. In a petition of writ of certiorari filed in August, Davis argued First Amendment protection for free exercise of religion immunizes her from personal liability for the denial of marriage licenses. She also claimed the court's decision in Obergefell v. Hodges, which rooted marriage rights for LGBTQ couples in the 14th Amendment's due process protections, was legal fiction. Yes, that's actually what some of the justices themselves said. The lower courts had dismissed Davis's claims, and most legal experts considered her bid a long shot. Davis's appeal to the Supreme Court comes as conservative opponents of marriage rights for same-sex couples pursue a renewed campaign to reverse legal precedent and allow each state to set its own policy. This is currently developing. My friends, the Supreme Court is weak, and they won't do their jobs. And here's what I fear. I was talking about this over the weekend with some family, and I just said, I fear that civil war is a light way of describing what we're going to see happen. The Republicans are caving to Democrats every time. What did we get? Biden wanted to pass his stupid spending bill, and Republicans fought it, caved, and gave it to him. Now, the Republicans have a continuing resolution on Biden's bill that they are voting in favor of, and Democrats are acting like they oppose. Well, the Democrats finally caved and are now accepting the Biden-era spending package they always wanted. It was fake. The Republicans are just playing along. Donald Trump tells the Republicans to end the filibuster so he can put his agenda in play. I'll tell you why I'm upset. I voted for Republicans because I wanted them to do their job, and they won't do it. The message is becoming clear. Even when you finally win in every facet of government, they will do nothing. Nothing. But that's okay, right? The Supreme Court will at least deal with some of these issues. They won't. NPR. Supreme Court rejects Alex Jones's appeal of Sandy Hook shooting defamation judgment. Yeah. Alex Jones certainly deserves to be heard because this is a crazy story. I mean, he got sued for saying things that were, I don't know, they're nasty, sure, but this is crazy. To end his entire company because of a defamation suit. It's crazy. I mean, news organizations like the New York Times, they get this stuff all the time. No one shuts them down. $1 trillion they wanted. They first wanted more than the GDP of France. Now it's like, what are they demanding? Like 100 billion or some ridiculous number? 1.4 billion. Sorry, not 100 billion, millions. $1.4 billion judgment. Seriously? I mean, that's crazy. The dude doesn't have that money. They'll never get that money. All they're doing is ending a company. The Supreme Court should hear it. The InfoWars host had argued that a judge was wrong to find him liable for defamation and infliction of emotional distress without holding a trial on the merits of allegations lodged by relatives of the shooting. Let me just stress this. There was never a trial against Alex Jones. He was never proven to have defamed anybody. That's the important thing. He was found in default. And then they had a trial, a hearing, to determine what he would pay them. He wasn't allowed to bring up evidence that he didn't defame them. The important thing to understand is that the arguments made by Jones, you must name the individual you're defaming. He never did. Probably because he was trying to be careful to not get sued. Doesn't matter. The judge said, summary judgment. With no evidence and no trial, doesn't matter. Supreme Court will not take the case because you have owners. They own you. That's George Carlin who said that. When the Supreme Court won't protect us, when they won't actually uphold the law because they're cowards. And it's fascinating to me. It's a 6-3 court right now. I don't think Thomas and Alito are the problem. They're great. What do we do and how do we solve these problems when it's one big family tree, son? The Republicans are playing the game. You think they're going to vote in favor of what you want? They don't. And they're not helping Trump. And the Supreme Court won't help you when they come to destroy your life. There was never a trial for Alex Jones. And the Supreme Court said, we don't care. And that's where we're at. Forgive me if I'm not optimistic, my friends. I think it's getting particularly crazy out there. But as you know, sentiment is, let's say tensions are high. People are hyperpolarized. They're geographically polarizing. Nobody believes. I should say Republicans don't want to say it, but they're all arguing, in essence, Democrats cheated in New Jersey and Virginia. What do you think this means for the next 20 years? We'll see. Smash that like button, share the show, stay tuned, more to come. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all in the next segment.